Shorts, a new little series, just like Dreamcast Shorts, but with Sega Saturn stuff. It's my one of my second favorite, or on my top 5 favorite consoles, so I have a lot of Saturn stuffs too. I just usually show you guys all the Dreamcast stuff right now, but I thought I'd mix it up and throw some Saturn stuff in the mix. Right here we have the Sega Saturn compatible true analog controller by Inovation. It's called the Rac-Con. It's a 100% true analog controller, it says. Kind of looks like an RC controller, like an RC remote control for a remote control racer. It says racing controller for Sega Saturn. Just flip it around, the box is pretty trashed up. Let's see, some words cut off here. Explore the true analog control in games like Daytona USA, Sega Rally Championship, and Virtua, with an AL Racing Deluxe instead of Virtua without the L. So even professionals get it wrong. In all racing games in Saturn, which is true. Most of the racing games are compatible with this. When you plug it in, it recognizes it as the Arcade Racer, the official racing controller, so you're good for the most part. Most of the controls can be changed up. There are some games that it just doesn't work so great with, like Wipeout, which that's the game you would want to use it with, or there's a couple others I can't think of off the top of my head, but for the majority it works really good. I was playing this downhill racing game, I think it's High Voltage or High Velocity by Atlas on the Saturn last night, and it was really good playing with this controller, so it gave me the idea to kind of do this. Let me open it for you. I meant to bring the tripod again, and I always just leave it by the door. Sorry about that. The shakiness. Rac-Con analog racing controller. Let's flip through these if we can. Kind of basically just tells you how it functions. It shows you the arcade racer and how that functions, just like that, and that's how it's going to recognize it. Alright, let's get this thing out of here. Here it is, the Rac-Con controller, which is pretty nice. It's not so cheap, and it has nice pressure, so you can give it exactly how much speed you want to give it, and there's your right and left and your up and down. Then you have all your normal buttons right there, A, B, C, X, Y, Z, and start. You can also program them and change them up, but X and A right there, kind of rubbing off, and L and R. On the other side you have nothing, Innovation made in China, Rac-Con logo, and a pretty girthy cord, so that's pretty nice. This has been compatible with all the extenders that I've used, and I have a couple different brands, so that's really nice. You don't have to sit super next to the TV if you don't want to. And there she is, kind of looks like a gun or a fishing rod, but it's actually a racing controller. Really fun, especially with those Micro Machine games and actual remote control car games. If any of you guys were wondering, this is compatible with the Dreamcast using the Total Control, which is really awesome to hook it into like R-Volt, and it's a remote control racing car game, and play it with this little car controller. Looking for toy racers in the PAL region, another Micro Machine style game that I think would be really cool with the Rac-Con. And there it is. You can stand up on its own, and it's pretty nice. There's not a lot to say about it. Let's see, it makes it look like it's official, but it's not. It's third-party quality. The best Innovation for exclusive use exclusively with the Sega Saturn. But you can actually use it with anything. If you have one of those controller attachments, it does the same thing. It recognizes it as the H-Tech Racer for the Dreamcast. There it is.